A dropped laptop, a corrupted USB, a hard drive that just stopped spinning. 15 years ago, that was all it took to lose everything. Every photo, every file, gone. No second copy, no way back. Today, most of your digital life does not live on any device you own. The cloud replaced your hard drive so quietly, so completely, that the real question is, how did we ever survive without it? Stacks of external hard drives lined office shelves and bedroom desks, each one a silent insurance policy. Every file, every photo, every project depended on these fragile spinning disks and plastic USB sticks. There was always a low hum of anxiety. Would the drive power up this time? Would the USB stick still be where you left it? A single drop, a sudden jolt, even a brief power surge could turn years of work into unreadable noise. Mechanical hard drives failed at rates that left no one immune. 1 in 20 would die in a typical year. Solid-state drives promised speed, but early models lost data without warning. USB flash drives slipped from pockets, vanished in taxi seats, or stopped working after a careless yank. For every lost device, there was a story of panic, wedding photos gone, tax returns erased, thesis drafts wiped out by a corrupted sector. Backup rituals became a kind of digital superstition. Some people set calendar reminders to copy files to an external drive once a month. Others kept a drawer full of unlabeled DVDs, hoping at least one would work when needed. Most just hoped for the best, living with a single copy and a silent promise to make a backup soon. Even for the careful, backups meant plugging in cables, waiting for slow transfers, and hoping nothing crashed in the process. Sharing files was its own ordeal. Burn a CD, find the right USB stick, pray it would open on another computer. The friction was constant, the risk always lurking. Every saved file felt temporary, every device a ticking clock. The daily hassle of local storage wasn't just an inconvenience. It was a constant reminder that digital life could disappear in an instant. Engineers, frustrated by the limits of spinning disks and scattered USB drives, began to imagine storage that wasn't tied to any single machine. In March 2006, Amazon introduced simple storage service, S3. Storage became a utility. Pay for what you use, store anything, reach it from anywhere. S3 didn't mimic a hard drive. Each file became a self-contained object, tagged with metadata and a unique address in a flat, boundless bucket. No more folders or partitions, no single point of failure. Data lived in triplicate across distant data centers, promising what insiders called 11 nines of durability, a 1 in 100 billion chance of loss each year. That summer, Amazon launched EC2, letting anyone rent virtual computers by the hour. Developers could spin up servers, store data in S3, and shut everything down when finished. The idea felt intangible, even risky. Why trust your work to a service you couldn't see? But for those chasing scale, or reliability, the appeal was clear. Storage and computing became as available as electricity, always on, no hardware to buy or maintain. In 2007, a forgotten USB stick on a Boston bus sparked another leap. An engineer wrote a prototype that kept a folder synced in the cloud. No cables, no manual copying. A short demo video went viral. 5,000, then 75,000 people joined the Dropbox waitlist. Dropbox watched for changes, broke files into chunks, and only uploaded what was new. Sync became invisible. For the first time, files followed you. These early experiments didn't erase old anxieties, but they proved storage could be abstracted, automated, and shared, a foundation for mass adoption. Suddenly, cloud storage was not just for early adopters or tech companies. The arrival of the iPhone and Android phones meant millions of people now carried powerful cameras and apps in their pockets. Every photo, every note, every contact needed a place to live, somewhere safer than a single device. In June 2011, Apple launched iCloud, offering 5 GB of free storage. The promise was simple. Your photos, messages, and files would follow you, no matter which Apple device you picked up. Less than a year later, Google Drive entered the scene, matching a 5 GB free tier and tying storage directly to Docs, Sheets, and Gmail. For many, this was the first time a file saved on one device would quietly appear on another without a second thought. Free space pulled people in, but pricing pushed them to stay. By 2012, storing a gigabyte in the cloud cost just over 2 cents a month, down from 12 cents only a few years before. Dropbox, iCloud, and Google Drive all offered generous free tiers and low-cost upgrades, turning subscriptions into a monthly habit. The old ritual of buying bigger hard drives faded as cloud plans quietly replaced them. At the same time, broadband and mobile networks erased the waiting, so photos and documents synced in seconds instead of hours. For everyday users, the cloud became the default. Always on, always available, invisible until you needed it. The friction of cables, disks, and manual backups gave way to a world where storage just worked, and losing a file started to feel like a relic of the past. It's wild to think how quickly our digital routines have changed. A few years ago, losing a file meant hours of searching, plugging in drives, or just giving up. Now, most of us expect our photos, notes, and memories to be everywhere, all the time. If you are fascinated by how technology keeps flipping the script on daily life, how things we once took for granted can vanish or transform overnight, consider subscribing. Every story on this channel dives into these invisible shifts, the moments when old habits break and something new takes their place. If you want to catch the next chapter in the evolution of everyday tech, hit subscribe. There is always another twist coming, and you will not want to miss it. Ben's heart dropped when his laptop crashed halfway through editing a wedding shoot. Dozens of raw files, hours of work, seemed lost, but with his workflow built on Dropbox, every file had already streamed up to Amazon S3 in the background. He borrowed a rental Mac, logged in, and watched as the RAWs reappeared in his folder, ready to finish. The client got their gallery on time. What would have been a disaster became a quiet rescue. No frantic calls to data recovery labs, no sleepless nights. 1,000 miles away, a small dental clinic faced a different crisis. Ransomware locked every patient record, demanding payment by morning. Local backups were useless. The tapes were encrypted too. But their admin remembered the nightly Google Drive sync. Within 24 hours, every file was restored from the cloud. The clinic reopened, patients were seen, and regulators never needed to know. The cloud's promise of rescue felt real, until it wasn't. On February 28, 2017, Amazon S3 went down across multiple regions. Services from Pinterest to Quora blinked offline. Engineers scrambled through Slack channels as alarms stacked up, powerless to reach data locked in distant racks. The outage lasted hours, but the lesson lingered. Centralization brings new risks. Regulators took note. In May 2018, the General Data Protection Regulation forced providers to offer regional storage and stricter consent. Meanwhile, the environmental cost of hyperscale data centers, measured by power usage effectiveness ratios as low as 1.1, sparked debates about water, energy, and carbon. And as more users uploaded their lives, leaving became harder. Egress fees and proprietary formats turned the cloud into a one-way street. The world had traded the pain of local loss for the convenience and the consequences of central control. Bringing storage and computation closer to where people actually use their devices is changing the rules again. Edge computing, mini data centers tucked inside cell towers, office buildings, even smart appliances, lets data skip the round trip to some far-off server farm. For anything that needs to happen instantly, like processing a live video feed or running a voice assistant, shaving off those extra milliseconds is the difference between seamless and sluggish. On smartphones, on-device AI now compresses photos and videos before they ever leave your pocket, sometimes cutting bandwidth use by 70%. Hybrid cloud setups blend local speed with cloud scale, letting sensitive data stay on a user's device while tapping remote power for the heavy lifting. These new patterns promise not just faster response, but stronger privacy. Your information does not always have to leave your hands. The pure, centralized cloud model is already starting to crack around the edges. Not everyone is willing to trust a single company with decades of work. While the cloud giants built ever bigger data centers, a new wave of experiments took a different route, splitting files into encrypted shards and scattering them across thousands of independent nodes. Networks like IPFS, Filecoin, and Storj promise storage that cannot be locked down or taken away by any one provider. Lena, a professional photographer, stores her 5 TB archive through a Filecoin deal, paying miners to keep fragments alive in exchange for crypto incentives. For her, it is a hedge against vendor lock-in, Dropbox for daily edits, and decentralized storage for the long haul. Economic models reward uptime and redundancy, with each shard replicated across continents. These bets on peer-to-peer storage may seem radical now, but they are a reminder that the story of where our data lives is still being written. Every search, photo, and message now travels through distant servers, shaped by choices we rarely see. As new technologies rise, entire industries and our most personal moments remain in flux. No technology stays on top forever. If you are curious for more, subscribe and catch the next transformation.